Welcome back to the Rich Eisen Show. This is a big moment for me. This is a big moment for me because something's been wrong in my fantasy house since the very beginning of this season, and I'm about to finally get to the bottom of this thing. Joe Latrulio, thank you for sticking around for this.
I'm glad I could be here for you.
Appreciate
Rich.
that. Thank you. Sitting in between the two of us here is the new Rich Eisen Show spiritual advisor, Sukha G. How are you, Sukha?
I am so well. I'm so well.
When you came out from the DraftOps.com green room and I shook your hand, you put your hand on my chest to feel my heart.
I always do that. I do. Yes, I felt your heart.
Did you glean anything just from that one mere touch on my heart? Was it?
I know you're a heartful man.
I am.
I've watched you run, and all I see is your heart.
That's a great impression.
It was a little bit Elaine dancing-ish for me right there.
I see the coattails flapping, but I see your heart. You're a heartful man.
Okay.
And I like to touch. I don't
Touch
know. Maybe
Joe?
it's invasive.
Yeah, please.
I don't know. Maybe it puts people off.
No, I'm a hugger,
I just,
so you know.
I feel like it puts us right there together.
Okay, so what is wrong with my fantasy world right now? Because you have all the have you been given the information here that you need to make?
We've all been given the information that we need. I've done my due diligence, just so you know. I'm a recent football, truly, madly, deeply fan. I've just fallen head over heels in love with it.
And you would refer to yourself as a spiritual advisor, or what would you? How would you? What would you call
heavens,
yourself?
No, I would not take that on.
Okay. So what are you?
I teach ballet, and I'm a movement coach, and I work with bodies, and I'm a lifelong astrology buff, and I have sort of I think, a unique perspective on how I look at that. We all do, but
sure.
You know, I'm loud and risk-taking, and I'll tell you what.
I need your help. I need your help.
Rich is the question.
Yes.
And it's how I look at the NFL anyway, and I feel that I have some information that, or hopefully what I share with you might give you a new perspective.
So what is wrong? What is wrong with?
There's nothing wrong.
No, that's untrue. It's untrue. I'm 3 and 7.
It's not turning out like you want.
He's going to miss the playoffs. He needs your help, Sukha.
It's not. I'm with you. It's not turning out like you want. I'm going to hopefully give you some information here. Number one.
Yes.
Number one.
Yeah.
Astrologically, Jupiter is in Virgo, and that's for yes.
Okay.
that means, for what it's worth. Okay, for what it's worth. Jupiter's the planet of yes. It's a planet of abundance. It's like yay, yes, support, luck. And Virgo, God love the Virgos. It's like, and here's how we're going to get it done. It's not a no, but they're going to help you get it done. So with the combination together, you're going to see your challenges probably will arise. Like, what is in the way will arise.
Is this because of my birthday? Is that what it is?
Well, I'm going to tell you how I think it's affecting you.
Please.
You have spent, or what I see, you have spent some time really sort of inward. I know that you're a public person, but some time sort of inward. And it's time for you to take risks and really trust your intuitive self. You're a very, as I perceive you, a very intuitive man. You're very, very sensitive.
Would you agree with that, Joe?
I would agree with that. I've heard you sing.
Thank you.
Very gentle notes.
Yeah, and I'm very intuitive.
You are. You really are. And you need to take a risk and really trust that. And no matter what I say, I want you to really, like, I touched your heart. When you're choosing, rather than, like, just being completely flustered by, oh, okay, if this happens, this could happen. Why don't you just listen to what your body is saying?
Well,
listen.
Okay, but I listened to what Julian Edelman was doing against the Giants last week. I thought that was an excellent matchup, and he broke his foot.
Maybe there's a player about to come on the waiver wire that's going to save. Maybe Jupiter is going to put, and Virgo are going to put a player in front of you.
Absolutely. You may not have seen yet what the player that you'll turn on to and say, he's my guy.
So can I go through my DraftOps.com pick 3 selections with you right now?
Absolutely.
Can I do that?
I'd like to hear that too.
Yes, absolutely.
Joe, would you think this is an advisable thing?
Absolutely.
Sukha G, my new, if you will, I'll put it out there, spiritual advisor of the Rich Eisen Show?
I absolutely think it's a worthwhile idea.
Okay, here it is. Here's my pick 3 for week number 11. I'm going with Carson Palmer of the Arizona Cardinals against his former team on Sunday Night Football in front of the whole week. He almost threw for 400 yards. He is doing very well. I think this is an excellent matchup for me. What do you think, Sukha G?
Well, Carson he's a Capricorn, dear Carson. He's very steady. He did have that terrible knee thing.
I know, that's what I'm concerned about choosing
well,
him.
that's,
as the Cardinals
that's
are
so
too.
interesting. I was, because I'm looking at the Cardinals myself.
Okay.
But I was concerned about that because Capricorns are body, their body, and that has to be a traumatic thing. And he's probably holding it in his body. And he's coming up against Cincinnati, and I wonder if he's going to hold back ever so much. And that's what concerns me.
So
that he's not going to be like,
So this is a bad choice, is what you're saying?
I'm giving you yay and nay. I'm giving you. Yeah.
What about Michael Floyd, his receiver? Is he going to be playing? Because that would be a big.
Is he on your team?
I
Is he on your team?
do not know when he was born. I don't know. I didn't. Right. I do not know when he was born.
Oh, God.
But now astrologically, positively, Capricorn in Jupiter in Virgo, it's time for them to really be seen, really be like
on Sunday Night Football against his former team.
It's a gigantic audience.
Positive.
Lock that in, Chris Command Center. It's Carson Palmer.
I thought she gave you a nay.
No, she gave me a yay right there. She just told me Capricorn and Virgo. Come on now.
I'm going to give you both.
Here's my running back. My running back is Adrian Peterson of the Minnesota Vikings against the Green Bay Packers, who he regularly torches.
Yeah.
What do you think of that series?
I have to tell you, I love him. I have looked at him a lot. He is March 21st, which is the cusp of Pisces and Aries. And if you watch him move, he has both fire and water. He is both very fluid and intuitive, but boy, that man moves. And he really does. He keeps his heart open. And he's doing really, really well. And in his personal life, it appears that he's really, really doing his work. And as I know it, how Jupiter in Virgo is affecting his Aries part, it's if you sort of practice, as the Buddhists say, chop wood, carry water, you will definitely be rewarded. Do your work, and that is what it appears that he's doing. So I'm all about him.
Okay.
I like him.
That's
he
2 for
moves
2.
Brilliantly.
You think?
Yeah, they're in Minnesota, right?
Okay, they're in Minnesota. Minnesota at home against Green Bay.
Yeah.
And my last one, I've already chosen Julio Jones in my no defense game of the week. Oh, you just made a face. Is that a problem for the Atlanta Falcons? Sukha, come on now. I can't get these guys hurt.
When an advisor
You're cleansing
makes
my
a
house
face.
here.
Well, he has had health
that's
issues.
trouble.
He has had health issues, and boy, he's a big man. He's a big man, but I get that he is a little delicate.
To your point, will Leonard Hankerson also play in that game?
I'm sorry.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
You just asked Sukha G about Leonard Hankerson.
I have bye weeks. Beckham and Cooks are on bye. What am I going to do?
Yes,
You're here for me. Focus on me.
Thank you. I am completely. But
There's something about winners and go ahead.
I'll take questions after all. But no, I am.
This is why I'm in first place.
I have to be really honest
I'm sorry.
about. I've watched Julio. I think he's got a lot of work to do. He can be a spectacular player, and to all the Julio Jones fans out there, yay. And I think that this may be a time for him to turn inward and shore some stuff up.
Interesting.
That is my, I mean, he could go out there, and I'm not doing this as a disclaimer, like, oh, I don't want to be wrong. I don't care, but I think he could.
Based on my birth date, last question for you, Sukha.
Yes.
Based on my birth date, knowing what you know about me, okay?
Yeah.
Is this a good time for me in fantasy moving forward? Have I exited whatever horribleness has happened to me from week 1 to now? Can you at least let me hang my astrological hat on that?
I think that, well, absolutely. I want to support you in confidence, in trusting yourself, and astrologically, how Jupiter in Virgo is, and again, I'm using that as a frame of reference.
Please.
Okay.
We have to have
there's
one of them.
lots, right? But there's lots of things we could look at. But it's time for you to step out and take risks. So it's time for you to step out and take risks and start to feel confident about your choices. And I said to you, I'm not about Julio right now, but your heart, your gut may be telling you.
It does. It does. And
So
you're saying my
do
gut
it.
and house is clean. Can you say that to me?
Your gut, and I believe your gut and house is clean. I believe. There we go. I
There
believe
you go.
I said
There
it.
you go.
I had to beg for it, but I got it.
Rich,
You're going to do the work, though. You're going to do the work.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
take some risks. Pick up Denard Robinson.
But he played last night already. Oh, I can't do that.
Can't
Week
do that.
12. Week 12.
Week 12.
All right. Thanks very much, Sukha G. Thank you so much for coming on this show.
It was so fun.
Maybe before I run my 40, you'll come back and you'll help me with
Oh,
that.
I have watched you. There's so many things I can.
No, you can't. Are you serious?
I'm really serious. I mean, and from a very practical, I'm a Taurus. From a very practical body perspective, there's things that I can support you in.
Well, practical body perspectives are what I'm all about for that. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.